see the name in the newspapers. Now, that is a natural response to a government that just isn't working for the American people. And so our job in this election is not just winning, although I'm a big believer in winning. I don't intend to lose this election. John McCain doesn't know what he's up against right now. I don't intend to lose this. He can talk all he wants about Brittany and Paris. Well, I don't have time for that mess. Not only do we have to win, but we also have to restore that link, that bond between the American people and their government. They've got to start feeling like somebody's up in there fighting for them. That's why I don't take PAC money. That's why I don't take money from federal registered lobbyists. That's why you have funded my campaign. That's why you have volunteered. That's why you've got a board to go. That's why I count on you. I'm answerable to you. I'm accountable to you. You are the people I'm going to be representing right there in the White House. And when we reestablish that link of trust, there's nothing we can't do. Just like John F. Kennedy said, we're going to the moon in 10 years, even though he didn't know, and no engineer knew how we were going to do it. We did it. Because when the American people decide on something, when they muster both the will and the courage, nothing can stop us. And that means that we can transform this economy. We can start investing billions of dollars in solar and wind and biodiesel and end our dependence on foreign oil and create billions of new jobs all across North Carolina and all across America if government and its people are working together. We can stop spending $10 to $12 billion a month in Iraq and start spending some of that money right here in the United States of America, rebuilding our roads and our bridges and our schools and our hospitals and putting people back to work and sending young people to college all across America. We can follow the lead of Jim Hunt and Mike Easley, and we can decide that nothing is more important than education. And we're going to invest in early childhood education and pay our teachers higher salaries and give them more support and ask for more accountability. And every child who graduates from high school will be able to go to college in return for community service or national service. Because that's the kind of country America is, that we open up opportunity to all people, not just some. That's what we can do. I love you, man. And we can finally create a healthcare system that works for everybody. Not just for the drug and the insurance companies. A healthcare plan that says if you have health insurance, we're going to lower your premiums by $2,500 a year, working with your employer. And we're going to, if you don't have health insurance, then we're going to make sure you can get health insurance that's at least as good as the healthcare I have as a member of Congress. And we're going to emphasize prevention so that people aren't going to the emergency room for treatable illnesses, and they're getting screenings, and they're getting regular checkups, and our children are all signed up under S-chip. And we're not going to wait 20 years from now to do it, or 10 years from now to do it. We're going to do it by the end of my first that we are going to make sure the Iraqis are carrying their share and paying their own way and dealing with their own political issues so that we can focus on Afghanistan and taking out Osama bin Laden. John McCain says he's called on to the gates of hell. All he's got to do is go to Afghanistan and Pakistan. He's going to get his family from the first place. And when our troops come home, we can treat them with the dignity that they have earned. No more homeless veterans. No more paying for disability payments. No more waiting long lines or driving for hours to get to a VA health center. Fully fund our VA. Take care of our veterans. Stop them out here. So, that's the future in store for us. A future that is investing in science and technology and discovery and is creating new opportunities all across America. That is what the American people know is out there. But it's not going to be easy. We've got to work for it. It's going to be hard because change is always hard. But here's the reason I know that the American people are ready. You know, the American people, contrary to what John McCain's folks say, are not fighters. In fact, people like Gloria, they work hard and they'll put up with a lot. They know life is tough. They don't expect anybody to hand it to them on a silver platter. But you know what does get Americans riled up? Is when they start thinking that the America they pass on to their children may not be as strong and as prosperous as the one that they inherited from their parents and their grandparents. When they start thinking that the American dream is at stake, when folks like Gloria who have been middle class and understood themselves as middle class suddenly start feeling as if everything they counted on, everything that was sturdy and stable is suddenly up for grabs. That's when folks wake up. And people start saying, you know what,